So this is a quick little tutorial for assignment number 2 in Illustrator, the gear that is causing a lot of people a lot of grief. So to get started, super simple. You have your document right here, and I will start with the basic shape tool right here, and I'll grab the star tool right here. Star tool does exactly just that. It creates a star. It's lovely, isn't it? I'm going to delete that guy. However, if you want to do a gear that has, let's say, more than 5 points, which is just a star, if you want to make it something like, like around a 12, 13, or 35 point star to get started, is you double click on your star tool right here. No, sorry, you click once. Sorry, you don't double click on that. When you click once, instead of click and drag to create a new star, you click once. And here it shows you the radius, the outside radius, and the inner radius, and the number of points on your star. So you're going to go, I don't know, let's say 11 points, right? So there's your star right there. And this thing has a fill and a stroke right now. So I'm just going to flip that around in my foreground and background color right here. And I'm going to get rid of my, my stroke. So it's just pure black. So from that point on, what I want to do is I want to create an inner layer, an inner circle, and an outer circle, right? So I'm going to go back to my basic shape tool. I'm going to create an ellipse, and I'm going to try to see like if you have under view, if you have smart guides turned on right here, you can see that it kind of picks up the center of your object. And by pressing and holding the Option key, your cursor becomes a target. And that means that you're starting your object from the center out, such as. And if I move perfectly in the right spot, you can see the vertical, horizontal, that tells me that it's a perfect circle. I'm still pressing and holding the Option key. But if I reach over and then press the Shift key as well at the same time, now it's going to be a perfect. And no matter where I put my cursor, it's going to stretch it and in the shape, in the perfect circular shape. So I want to do this, right? I want to do that right now. I just want to do, let's say, I'm going to put it right here. So now you have two shapes, right? So you have the star and then the circle. So I'm going to flip that one into this mode so we can see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that one too. So we can see better right there. So I have my circle and then my star on top. What you can do is I need to have a second circle somewhere in here. So you can do the same thing again. You pick your ellipse tool, again, you bring it to the center, press and hold Option, and then drag across, right? And then you have your center, your axle, basically, where the axle of your gear would go through. But what you can do as well, you can select your outer circle right here, go under Edit, you go Copy, back to Edit, and you go Paste in front. And what it does, it's just that. It just pasted this thing right in front of the other, right? So now that you have this two circles on top of one another, then you can scale it, right? So you use your Scale tool right here, and by default, it always scales in the center of your object right here. This tiny little blue dot right there. It's always scaling back from the center, and then from here you can double click on your Scale tool, and then you can go uniform or non-uniform. So I want to keep it circular. So I'm going to go, let's say, 80%, preview, and that's about a little too, not enough. So I'm going to put 85%, there it is. So I can see what I'm doing right here instead of click and drag. And so here. So now, so this is the first way to do your gear. Sorry, you start with a star, you use the circle right there, you create your circles, I should say, and then what we're going to do here, we're going to use the Pathfinder tool right here. So under Window, it's in alphabetical order. So you just go into A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, sorry, Pathfinder right there, which is already right here in my palettes on the right-hand side. So what this is, it's a cool little tool. You can do this quickly. I'm just going to quickly give a demo right there. Let's say you have this object, fill it with black. I'm going to click and drag it with Option key down. So click and drag, you make a duplicate of it. Let's say I have those two objects, right? Circle here, circle there. If I select both of them and then I go Unite, this is exactly what it does. Now it's one shape. If I add another one right here, it has to be on top. Select that, the other one as well. So press the Shift key to select 2 objects at a time, and I go minus font, and this is what it does. It just punches it, right? And you can just keep on going like this, as many different options that you want. You can grab another one here, grab another one there, and this is what you can do. You can select all those 3 objects together, and then you do what's called right here, you go divide. So now it's, problem is it's in one piece. So all it is, it's you just have to right click on it, ungroup it, deselect. To deselect, I just click on the side, and now they're all split. Right? Oh, there's even a tiny little piece right there. So that's how you make puzzles. No, it's not. So what are we going to do here? Using the Pathfinder tool, I'm going to select the arrow, can't speak today, the star, and then the outer circle, right? So those 2 objects basically. So I can click on one, press and hold Shift, click on the other, and they're both selected. Or I can just click and drag. It's called the elastic band selection. Select 2 objects at a time like this. And then I'm going to hit that divide right there. And I'm going to right click on it, ungroup it, and now this is what I have. I have all those little pieces been cut out. Right? So I can select every single one like this at a time, or what I can do is I can just go select the circle that I still need, select that gear shape that I have now, and my inner circle as well, where my hub is, right? And then I'm just going to move them out of the way. And all of that stuff I can delete. I can just go elastic band, select, hit delete this guy as well. So I'm halfway here, right? Following? Good. Now what I want to do is I want to do a unit. Remember the 2 shapes that I want to make into one? Again, elastic band selection right here. Select the inner circle, and then that red hot chili pepper shape. Unite, boom, you have a gear. So right now, selecting both, move them over like this, right there. So here, there's no fill, right? So it's just the color of your document right here. So I want to put a fill to it. I'm going to make it green. And then the inner circle right here does not have a fill, so I can't, when I try to select it right here, I select the one behind because there's no fill. So the selection, when I click on it, it selects the object below, right? So this one, I'm going to make it solid black. It's easier to select. Now I want to punch that hole out, right? So here it's green. I'm going to get rid of the stroke on it. And then again, select both objects at once. Move them over right here. Select both objects. Open my Pathfinder tool right here, palette. And then go minus font. And then boom, voila. And now it has a punched hole. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do this is, again, you select your star tool, and we're going to make a tighter with more points. Let's say 17 points. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 27. Let's go crazy. So this is very, very tight, right? So it's a lot of gears right there. So what happens here, when you select your object with your direct selection tool, this is what you have, right? You can select the corner, scale it up, you know, if you press and hold shift, you can scale things proportionally. But if you go with your direct selection tool, you have all those anchors that are showing up. And the direct selection tool does exactly that. You're able to select each and every individual anchor or path, and then move them around, right? So you can mess things up really, really, really fast. So I'm just going to undo a couple times. But what it does when you select that, as you can see in the corners right there, for each anchor, there's a chamfer tool, which is that tiny little target right there. And you can see it's like a rounded kind of corner thing attached to my cursor right there. And if I do that, if I click and drag that, not only I get a measurement, which is in 0.0 or whatever, but it rounds every anchor all the way to its maximum right here. It rounds every anchor for the whole thing. So now it's not a gear, it's a virus-looking shape. I'm going to undo that. But if you do this, if you press and hold, again, Option key, and you click on it, now you have a reversed chamfer. So click on that. Now you have a reverse chamfer. And now it really starts to look like a virus. Undo that again. Again, go over. You have the chamfer. It always starts with a rounded corner. Press and hold Option. Click on it. That's the reverse. Click one more time, and that's your square. Your square chamfer. And then that's the one you want because you want to have a gear. And just like that, you have your gear. And again, you know, you can put like a hub in the center. You can do anything you want, really. You can do another star right in the center right here. This time I'm going to make it into, let's say, 6. And I'm going to scale it down. Again, straight from the center. Press and hold Shift. Click and drag from a diagonal from a 45-degree angle, and then you can scale it down right there. And then again, Direct Selection Tool. I'm gonna make it white so I can see what I'm doing right here with my eyedropper tool. Just pick the white from the background. Direct Selection Tool again. And then the chamfer again, so I get Option key, Option key, click on it, reverse chamfer, click again, square. And then I square it off. Right there. And now this thing has some serious torque. And again, you have a center that is white. Select both. Pathfinder Tool, minus font, and voila. You want to change the color? Just click on that. Get your color palette open. Pick a color. There you go. That's how to make a gear in Illustrator.